this video, I take up Mark Wallace's prime lens challenge and spend a whole day shooting with a single lens.
Adorama TV presents Take and Make Great Photography with Gavin Hoey.
Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that has everything for us photographers. And today, well, you join me down on the beach at Brighton because, well, recently on Adorama TV, this happened.
I actually have a photo challenge for you if you're up for it. Do you have a prime lens laying around somewhere?
I don't use prime lenses. I'm a zoom lens kind of guy.
The challenge is to choose a lens that you don't normally shoot with. Just go out there, take pictures of everything. Don't worry so much if you're going to get a beautiful, award-winning photo, and then let's see what happens.
So I accept the challenge, and as I don't have any prime lenses for this Olympus, I've borrowed from Olympus for the day a 12mm f2 lens. Now that's the equivalent of 24mm on full frame, so quite a wide angle lens. Initial thoughts, well, this is a really nice little lens. In fact, it's tiny. I can't show you my standard 12 to 40mm lens because of course I didn't bring it. That was part of the challenge. But as you can see in this shot, it is considerably smaller, and that's a good thing. It's also a little bit cheaper as well, about a third cheaper than the zoom. So those are great things, but on the downside, well, I love zooms and I already have a 12mm focal length on my zoom. Why would I want a prime lens that does exactly the same as my zoom? I'm not sure yet. Then there's the fact that, well, it's just not a zoom, it's a prime fixed focal length. I'm limited to what I can do. Is that going to affect my creativity? Yeah, quite possibly. Well, there's only one way we're going to find that out, and that's to go into Brighton and take some pictures. The forecast for the weather today is changeable, to say the least. Nice weather this morning, not so nice this afternoon. So let's head up into town, start up there first, I think. So I've been walking around the streets of Brighton, everything is just getting open for the day, and I'm using the hyperfocal method of taking pictures, and that's one of the advantages of a prime, of course, is I have this little ring here that tells me hyperfocal distances. If you're not sure what that is, go check out the Adorama Learning Centre. But what basically it means is I can choose f11 and I can move my little focusing dial. So f11 is in focus between infinity and, well, 2 feet, which is about 60 centimeters. And I don't have to worry about autofocus. Now this little Olympus is really snappy with the autofocus, but hyperfocal means I don't have to worry about that. I just shoot. Now, I used to do hyperfocal back in the days of film. I did it all the time. So this is going back for me. I haven't done this for years. And one thing I remember, and I've experienced it already this morning, is it's very easy to jog this little focusing wheel and ruin your hyperfocal. So if you're going to do this and walk around, remember to keep checking that first. One little thing I found really useful for street photography, because I'm not a street photographer at all, is the silent shutter on this little Olympus. It's fantastic, it's completely silent, and that just gives you that extra level of secrecy when you're taking your street photos. And if you're a newbie like me at doing this, that's a great thing. So as I'm getting towards the end of the day now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to really feel the benefit of the lightweight prime lens. I mean, compared to my big heavy zoom, this is just so much more comfortable in my hand. It's nice to have the freedom of not having a strap. That's really helped my photography and be a little bit more creative. And well, the focusing, the hyperfocals work really well, and the focusing's been really snappy on this prime lens. So all in all, really good, but I reckon we've got a few late night evening pictures to do, and that's perhaps where the f2 aperture, rather than my usual f2.8 aperture, is really going to come into its own. It's one stop more aperture. That means double my shutter speed at the same ISO. So, okay, well, let's see if we can get some nice evening pictures as we head over towards Brighton Pier. Well, there we go. My day with the prime lens has pretty much come to an end, and on balance, well, I think I've had a really fun day of photography. I've got some okay pictures and hopefully some good ones in there as well. Experiencing just one focal length has been a challenge for somebody like me who loves their zooms. I guess there were times when I really wanted to have something other than a wide angle lens. Maybe a bunch of different primes would have done that. Certainly a zoom would have done it. Which is right is entirely up to the individual photographer. I think every photographer has a right and a wrong, and every scenario has a right and a wrong lens for that section of photography. For me, I suppose the big question is, am I going to get rid of all my zooms and swap to primes? Well, there's only one way you're going to find that out, and that's to watch my next video. So if you want to see that and more videos from the other amazing presenters here on Adorama TV, you know what you've got to do. You've got to click on the subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.
Do you want great looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy to use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use adoramapix.com.